Hello friends, this is SriRam and I welcome you all to my channel. So today, with respect to NEET as well as the 11th standard topic, I am going to start with the 4th chapter of 11th standard, that is Animal Kingdom. In that, the first phylum is Porifera. Right. So first of all, we'll understand the term. What is the meaning of the word porifera? Okay. So pores means small holes or minute what you call as passages, holes we can say. A body of an animal which has completely covered with pores or is completely porous. It is like a sponge. We name that phylum as Porifera. The word Porifera was first coined by, as you can see it on the board, Mr. Robert Grant. Right. So name of the people who have identified this what you call as phylums, or the people who are named with the particular terminologies, these are very important for your entrance examinations. So on the board, only those terminologies which are important I have written it. Remaining things verbally I would like to explain. Right. So starting with the particular phylum here, the word Phylum Porifera was coined by Mr. Robert Grant. Right. Then if you talk about what is the speciality of this phylum, it is the first phylum. Study of poriferans is called as parazoology. Right. And they are first multicellular organisms. Right. They are the first multicellular organisms. Their body is made up of numerous cells, but it is not having any tissue grade of organization. The body is made up of cells and just group of cells, not tissues. They are just made up of group of cells, right? So cells are arranged layer by layer with the help of certain skeletal substances. Now what these skeletal substances are? Okay, so these points we'll be discussing here. So we'll continue with this. Now they are multicellular, right? They are colonial forms and they are having cellular grade of organization. So what kind of a organization do they have if it is asked? Okay, so they have cellular grade of organization. Cellular means what? The body is made up of only cells but arranged in a group of cells, not as tissues. Clear? Now, if you talk about the second point here, that is they are colonial. Colonial means they live in huge colonies. They are not solitary, they are not living alone, they live in a huge colony. Okay, so they are marine form of organisms. They are commonly called as sponges because their body looks like a sponge, and at the bottom of sea and oceans usually they are found. Most of them are 100% marine forms. A very few forms are what you call as found in freshwater. They are aquatic completely at the bottom of the sea. Okay, at the bottom of the sea, generally bottom dwelling animals, they are found there. They are sessile, they cannot move from one place to another place, and they are fixed at one position. We call them as sessile. The word sessile refers to they are fixed at one position, they cannot move from that place. Okay, and what we call as their importance is they live in colonies. They don't live alone, they live in a colony. Then another important one, the words which are very important, I have underlined them, just you can see, cellular grade of organization. Now different types of organization are there, unicellular, multicellular, in that tissue grade, and you can go for the further points like tissue grade hone ke baad they have organ grade system and organ system grade of organization, which is most advanced type. So just above the unicellular organisms and below tissue grade of organization. Organism made up of group of cells but not tissues. That is what is cellular grade of organization. Okay, coming to the next word, as I said, sessile. They are sessile form. They cannot move from one place to place. They are fixed with the help of the basal disc. Then they are having radial symmetry. Very few of them exhibit radial symmetry. Most of them are asymmetrical. These words are very important. What do you mean by radial symmetry? Most of you will define it as, the body of an organism which can be cut into any plane through a axis passing to the center. Aisa cut what karna hai nahi beta. Okay, it's arrangement. Symmetry means what kind of an internal arrangement do you have inside the organism's body. Now the arrangement of our body is with respect to left and right part. Whatever is there in the left part, it's also there in the right part. So we call it as bi. Bi means two. Lateral symmetry. Radial means organisms which are having cylindrical or circular spherical shape. Then their arrangement of internal organs is in a radial manner. That means circular manner. Whatever body organs are there, they are arranged in a circular manner. So that's why any plane passing through the center cuts them equally. But cutting and chopping is not the symmetry. Symmetry is arrangement of internal structures in an organism. This, it is very important to be remembered. Okay. Next, my dear students, coming to the next point here. That is, they are asymmetrical. Asymmetrical means there is no fixed symmetry. Random arrangement of internal structures is there, and that's why we call it as asymmetrical. Now coming to the next word. That is pinacoderm, choanoderm and mesoderm. What? These are three. Now, as I said, they are having cellular grade of organization. The cells are present outside the body and inside the body in layers, I said, right? The outer layer of cells is called as pinacoderm and the cells are called as pinacocytes. The pinacocytes are the cells and they form the layer which is called as pinacoderm. The innermost lining is having flagellated cells. They are commonly called as collar cells or scientifically termed as choanocytes. Right? Choanocytes are the inner lining of cells. Outer lining of the cells is called as pinacocytes and the layer is called as pinacoderm. The inner layer is called as choanoderm. In between these two we have a gelatinous layer which is non-cellular. They don't have cells in this, but they may have skeletal structures in that. What is that? Mesenchyme. Right? It's a gelatinous, in between these two layers of cells there is a layer called as mesenchyme which is non-cellular. They don't have any particular type of cells there. Next, coming to what are the body features of it. So body is generally covered with small numerous pores which is called as dermal ostia. Dermal refers to outer layer is called as derma or skin, right? So dermal ostia are the numerous pores present on the body. Then they have only one single opening in their body which is called as osculum, right? Then the cavity which is present, the vase-like body is generally sac-like or vase-like body is there with numerous incurrent openings and only one single external opening. Numerous internal openings and one single external opening, it forms a system which is called as canal system, right? We'll discuss that. The spongiocele, the innermost cavity which is formed for entry and exit of water where all processes takes place, that is called as spongiocele. It is not a true cavity, but it is called as spongiocele. Then skeletal structures. Now they are having skeletal structure. There are two types. One is protein fibers called spongin fibers and another one is spicules. Spicules can be different types, different size, different materials they may be made up of. They may be made up of calcium, they are called as calcareous spicules. They may be made up of silica, they are called as siliceous spicules. And they are made up of protein fibers sometimes, which is called as spongin fibers. So spongin fibers and spicules combinedly form the network which forms a body plan. It forms this skeletal structure on which the layer of cells is arranged. To give the shape and structure to the body, it is very essential, right? Now coming to the next point here, that is whatever their body functions are there, they are intracellular. That means each and every cell performs their own individual function. Intercellular function is not developed yet in this particular phylum. What is that intracellular? Intracellular means each and every cell traps their own necessary elements. They perform their own function. What kind of functions? Metabolic functions like digestion, respiration, and so on and so forth. Exchange of gases and so on and so forth. Even excretion also. So excretion here, mainly they are ammonotelic in nature. The word ammonotelic refers to animals which excrete ammonia as their chief excretory product. So they are ammonotelic and their chief excretory product is ammonia. Now here I have written one more thing here. What is that? They are having asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Before going to that, I would like to tell you something important also. That is, here they are having a canal system. What is canal system? Canal system is numerous incurrent channels and one single excurrent channel through which the water enters into the body, and through the spongiocele the water exits outside the body. Right? Osculum is the part from where the water is removed out, and The in-current channels is the region from where the water enters into the body. It is called as water canal system. Now what this system is very essential for filtering the nutrients. The flagellated cells called choanoderms, they trap the nutrients with the help of their flagella. Right? So the water vascular system is very essential for the trapping of nutrients and exchange of so many other metabolic features of the body. That point you have to remember there. Then they are having different types of reproduction. What is that? They have asexual reproduction, they have sexual reproduction, both. Okay, asexual reproduction can be by simple budding. Budding is nothing but an extra outgrowth will develop there from the parent's body, which later on grows into an individual organism. But they do not detach from the parental body. Instead, they form a colonies. That is what you have to remember. Gamules. Now, gamules are very important. They are exogenous budding type of situations. In unfavorable conditions, certain cells of sponges, they form a cyst with some spicules, which is called as gamules. Now these gamules are formed during unfavorable conditions. Whenever they form favorable conditions, once again these cysts will break up and a new colony of sponges can be developed. They exhibit a very important feature, that is complete regeneration. The highest power of regeneration in the animal kingdom is exhibited by these animals called as sponges or poriferans, right? Now one more thing, in sexual reproduction, as we all know, sexual reproduction is by fertilization process. The fertilization is what we call as a process where the fusion of male and female gamete takes place. Here development is very important. Development can be of two types, direct or indirect. Here we are having indirect development. Indirect means what? The development occurs through a larval stage. When there is a larva and that larva develops into an adult, we call it as an indirect development. There are two kinds of larva which we can see in this. One is parenchyma larva. One kind of larva is parenchyma larva. Another one is amphiblastula larva. Either parenchyma larva is formed or another one is this one, that is amphiblastula larva. Now these points keep in your mind, do not forget it, and whatever next videos will be, it will be continuation of this topic probably, right? From porifera we'll continue with the nidaria and so on and so forth. Examples, you can take it from your textbooks or any reference books. A lot of examples are there. That is Psychon is there, Skyphi is there, a lot of examples are there. Usme the important thing is you have to remember the smallest sponge, the largest sponge. Those things are very important there. Some special examples we can quote, like spongilla. Spongilla is the only freshwater form of sponges. Okay, so freshwater form means sponge which lives in freshwater. It's called as spongilla, right? Euspongia, commonly called as bath sponge. You can take Leucosphalanea. You can take what you call as Skypha or Psychon, which is a commonest example there. So there are a lot of examples we can quote. So probably the smallest, the largest, you have to remember. Okay, and with that I would like to conclude this video. In the next video we'll continue with the next phylum and the important characters of the next phylum, right? So whatever is there, whatever doubts you may have or whatever particular questions you may have on this topic, you can post it in the comment and we can discuss it in the next video. Thank you.